Hey Virgos, thanks very much for coming by. If you meant to come here, well, here you are. And it's Elsie here at 10 of Cups Tarot. Thank you for coming to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. If you haven't been here before, welcome. You're going to want to hit that subscribe button, not because of my readings, but just because of the amazing group we have here. We have such high vibing people in this group. I have not caught one low vibe here yet. And people here are just wonderful and supportive of each other and really high vibing. So if you are interested in getting a general reading, that's what you're here for today. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I am doing a reading now for Virgo. So I have my Tarot Grand Lux. I keep doing it backwards. Grand Lux Tarot, but it's Tarot Grand Lux. That's what I'm using today for you. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the sign of Virgo, please. I am going to pull one card for the overall energy of the read, and then we are going to pull 5 cards. The first 5 cards are going to be for the recent past, the very recent past, within the last couple weeks, and then we're going to pull 5 cards for the current energy, and then we're going to go with 10 cards for the future. So let's first cut, and we will ask Spirit for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If I can have the energy for the overall energy for this read for Sun, Moon, Rising, and a Venus and Jupiter for the sign of Virgo, please. First half of February 2020. And ready? Too bad. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Okay, so the 4 of Cups can be being a little complacent, pulling back your energy from something, for sure, and going in a different direction. This card, you can see he really has his eye on the prize there. So he is not, he's looking for a new opportunity. He's not missing his opportunity. So this card is a card of not missing an opportunity. So there is going to be something coming up in the first half of February that may be an opportunity that you shouldn't miss. He's very fixated on that 1 cup in the sky. Of course, you know, he's not really very fixated on the cups he already has. So he could be looking for something, even though he has everything that he needs. So I see this card 2 ways. I see it as don't miss an opportunity. I'll see it as a little bit of greed. I'm just saying. So this is a card of cups. So this is Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. And now we're going to pull 5 cards for the near past energies. All right. Well, somebody's been working. I see that someone has got the energy of the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands gets what she wants. She's very motivated. She's a fire sign. She is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. She's She's a very business-minded energy. She knows what she wants. She's a business owner. She, you know, runs the business, but she runs it passionately. So she is all about the passion first. She is a force to be reckoned with, though. So this is good energy to have. She's a force to be reckoned with. And she's decided that she is going to close a chapter. The World card is here. And so when you get this World card, it is about completing a karmic lesson. So congratulations, you've completed a karmic lesson, Virgo. And it's about learning something. This is the last card in the major arcana in the tarot. So when this card is dropped, there isn't really anything you can do about it. It's something that the universe has planned for you. So closing a chapter, whether you're ready to close it or not, before you transformed into this queen of passion, the queen of fire, and you close the chapter. And you transformed into her first, and then you decided to close the chapter, because she is the force to be reckoned with, and she's a very strong energy. So whether you're male or female, I believe that's the energy that you're coming up to, you know, within the last couple weeks or so. Then we have the Chariot, which is Cancer, and this card is about quick moving energy. It's about literally getting in a vehicle and going somewhere else. It's about going to see somebody, getting in a vehicle and going to see somebody. It's about strength. It's about staying in your lane, quite literally staying in your lane, because the Chariot is, you know, these two horses have a different idea of which way they should go. One's going this way, one's going that way. And so the person who's driving the Chariot, they usually were bringing the most valuable fighter to the fight so they could finish it off, right? They would hold back their most valuable fighters. They wouldn't send them out front, but they would go in to clean up after everybody was exhausted. So if this guy does not keep hold of those reins and those two horses don't stay in the same lane, they're going to crash and everybody's going to die. So it's really important to be strong with the Chariot and to keep in your lane. So I see that after you have closed the chapter, you come out hitting the ground running with this Chariot energy. So you may be moving. You may be moving because you were feeling a little bit defensive. Or you're going to visit someone, you're getting in a vehicle and you're going to see someone, or someone's getting in a vehicle to come see you. Because this is a general reading, it can be either way, flip-flop. If you don't know what it means about a general reading, the description is down below. The next card I see is you being a little bit defensive, but yeah, I would say defensive, you know, once you hit this energy here, it makes sense that you would be defensive after closing a chapter, because everything is new. It's brand new. This is uncharted territory for you. You've never come through this territory before. So feeling defensive is natural. There's going to be a lot of naysayers. Not everybody's going to be on your side. You're going to find out who is on your side once you decide to make a change like that, a big change like that. You need clarity. You need clarity on where you're going and what you're doing. This is also this Ace of Swords is also, you might just be cutting people out that no longer serve. And unfortunately, when you make a really big change, like closing a chapter, sometimes you end up just cutting away the debris. It happened in my life too. When I made a very big change in my life, it really ended up in me cutting away a lot of things I never thought I would have to cut away. So a lot of things and a lot of people. It's a hairy time. It's an uncharted time for you. So, listen to your intuition. Virgo, you have intuition. Everybody does. Listen to your gut. Make sure that you know what you're coming up to next. Make sure that you're planning your steps. You know, I'm an earth sign too. I like order, and I like schedule, and I like things to be orderly. And you know, us with Tauruses, we're dependable, and we're how can I say, stubborn, and stubborn in a way that we will wait you out till one of us dies. that is what we do. But with Virgos, you're all about the details. And so if you don't plan things ahead, it tends to leave you kind of reaching out in the dark, or you feel like you are reaching out in the dark. Okay. So it looks like we have some big changes coming up for you, Virgo. And that was about maybe the last 2 weeks out. I am going to ask for 5 cards for the current energy. There's 1. Oops. 4 more cards for the current energy, and I have boxed 1, so I'm going to pull that out, flip her over. If I can have 4 more cards, please, for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. For the first half of February. Cards are just flying. I don't even have to pull them out. That's 4. 1 more, please. Virgo, you got energy today. You brought it. Ooh, there we go. All right. All right. What do we have in the current energy here? Let me take a look. Time to sip coffee. Sip happens all the time. Just roll with it. There's nothing we can do but ride the waves, guys. All right. So what I see here in the current energies is you've come through a transformation, I think. I think that something has been on your heels and you've been wanting to change for a very long time, to make big moves and big changes going forward, but you've been scared to do so. You haven't been speaking up. You I think you finally decided to speak up maybe just a couple of weeks ago and tell whomever was in your life that you wanted to close the chapter. I think you finally found it within yourself to decide to put yourself on the front burner instead of everyone else, and it's time to take care of Virgo now. So bravo to you, because we all need to do that at some point in our lives. And if you're younger than I learned that probably in my late 40s. So bravo to you if you've learned it already. The card that I see showing transformation is the card of Scorpio, which is the death card. And the death card only comes when things are coming to an end. And when things come to an end, then new things can start. So this is your transformation. This is you having an aha moment, like, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Is it good for me? Is it good for my kids? Is it good for my spouse? Is it good for us as a group? Is it, is it good if I put myself on the front burner? And I got to tell you, when mama ain't happy, ain't no one happy. So if you're mom or dad and you've put yourself on the back burner, it's time for you to move to the front burner. I'm not saying neglect all the other people in your life. I'm saying speak to them and have them understand why you need to be on the front burner. This is you transforming, and this is you and your soulmate. So you have transformed because you feel as though there is soulmate connection with someone. I don't believe it's a spouse, if I'm being honest. I don't feel that. What I'm feeling is... What? Okay, Spirit is showing me a piece of paper torn apart and all the edges. Sorry. I think things are coming apart at the seams. That's what I think the Spirit's trying to tell me. Things have come apart at the seams, and you have decided that in your transformation, you need to end your relationship. And it's time for you to move forward with whomever you feel is your soulmate. This brings you to a Tower moment, and of course it does. Of course it does, Virgo. So the Tower has come for your learning. It's come for your advancement in life. It's come for the purpose for you to grow. It is painful to grow, though. Growth can be painful. It can be very painful because usually when you're growing especially when you're in a relationship, it can become hard to grow together. I was in a 20-year marriage, and that's what happened to my marriage. When one of you decides it's not worth it to grow anymore, then the other one continues to grow and you grow apart. And sometimes that's what happens. I feel like this soulmate is in the background and waiting for the right time to come forward. I feel as though this may be a divorce or separation that you're going through in the current. And I feel it might be because you have found passion with another. So we have the Knight of Wands here. Now, just remember, though, the Knight of Wands may come in just for the passion and then leave. And if you're okay with that, then that's fine. But just remember that that's usually what the Knight does. Mercury retrograde. Mercury is going into retrograde on the 17th of February. We're feeling that pull already. So usually 2 weeks going into Mercury retrograde, we will feel the pull of Mercury retrograde, and then we're not going to be able to say Mercury retrograde. My words aren't going to come out. I act like I am drunk when Mercury retrograde hits. The week of Mercury retrograde, I'm telling you, I act like I haven't had sugar or caffeine in 3 days. I have headaches. I can't really get my words out. It's really quite alarming at sometimes. Sometimes there's a really big pull and sometimes there's not much of a pull, but I'm already starting to feel the pull. So Mercury retrograde is about to happen on the 17th. This brings, a lot of people are getting this card because what Mercury does for us helps us clean our karma. It pulls things from the background, things that we'd forgotten about, soulmates we forgot about, relationships that we may have had that ended badly. It makes all of that stuff come up front. So you have to look it in the face and then I'm sorry to that one, and you clear that one off. And, it helps you clear your karma is what it does. It helps you clean your karma. So Mercury retrograde, a good thing. It's going to leave us tripping over our words, and it's going to leave us, a lot of stuff is going to come up from the past. And this is one of those things. This is the soulmate card. And so someone who feels they are your soulmate is watching and waiting for this tower to fall so they can whisk in and give you a little bit of passion. I think you're going to come out as the Queen of Cups. I think that's going to be your energy, Virgo. And I think that, you know, with the Queen of Cups, she feels deeply. She's very deep, and she hurts deeply. She is, you know, the queen of the underworld. So, you know, under the water, essentially. So she's very go with the flow. She takes care of everyone and envelops them, you know, things like that. So I feel as though you're very loving and kind. I feel like you've come to this honestly after this transformation. I think you may have had an aha moment. And then after this transformation, you thought, what am I doing? Is this really what I want to do for the rest of my life until I die? And I think that that is what's put you into this new energy here. I think you are wanting overall, I think that you just want reciprocity. You want someone to put in as much as you put in, because you feel like you give 80 and they give 20, or you give 90 and they give 10. And it's time for you to get 100%. You're worth 100%. You are, Virgo. You are worth 100% of someone's time, thoughts, and love. And I think that you may be leaving a relationship or thinking about leaving a relationship because you're not getting that right now. But I have a feeling that there is someone who thinks they are your soulmate that is going to come for you. So I'm now pulling 4 more cards, and they're going to be for the future. One more card, because as I said, your cards are just popping out all over the place. Do you see them flying? One more, please. One more card. Whoops, there it goes. These suckers are just falling out one after the other here. Not scared to speak, that's for sure. Not scared to speak. It's interesting. You shouldn't be scared to speak. Yeah, nothing is a coincidence when it comes to spirit and it comes to reading cards. Nothing is a coincidence. All right. So what we have in the future is we have happiness. Happiness, love, marriage, stable relationship, someone who loves you, someone who gives you the 100% that you require and that you deserve. It may be someone that you have already met, maybe someone who's coming, maybe this soulmate. And this is, 1111. This is the clear message from the universe that it's your time. And if you don't believe me, Google that. Why am I seeing 1111? This is the number that I began to see before I even knew I was intuitive enough to read cards, to get messages clairaudiently and clairvoyantly. Before I knew that, I saw 1111 on the clock. And once I saw it once, I kept seeing it over and over and over again. Once I saw that, then I started seeing other numbers, 222, 333, 888. I started seeing 1212, things like that, like patterns of numbers. So I started seeing patterns of numbers everywhere, license plates, signs, signs when I would go, driving in a car, I would see them everywhere. So this is 1111. I want you to look for signs and symbols. I want you to pay close attention. You are a Virgo. You're all about the details. Pay close attention to, the clock. Once you see it once you're awakened, this is your awakening, the 1111. It's your awakening to the new life, to the new hopes and dreams that you have, to being a star, to having your third eye open here, having spirit answering your questions, being in balance on earth and water. Just remember that, with the star, you are popular. People like you. You have places that you can go where people like you and be with those people. So I wouldn't worry so much about maybe a breakdown of a relationship. You know where you can go for love. You know that you have friends that love you. You are the star. People see you as a bright, shining person, and people are drawn to you because of your personality. It's time for you to drop these burdens. You're exhausted. Look at him. Exhausted. Carrying around those burdens, things that have been done to you, actions that have been done to you, things that have been said to you, things from the past. When you think too far in the past, you get depressed. And when you think too far in the future, you get anxious. So it's time for you to live in the now. Live in the now. I know it's hard. It's hard living day by day. I'm not saying don't plan for a mortgage. Don't plan for, you got to plan for those things, saving money for whatever, plan for a rainy day. But I'm saying, live in the now, live in today with your thoughts. So, you know, not too far forward, not too far back. And it's time just to drop those burdens. It's okay to drop them now. I know you're undecided about that. You're sort of in two minds about that. The Two of Swords is about being in two minds. Should I, shouldn't I? I'm kind of stuck in a deadlock with myself. And although she is veiled, she can still see what's going on. Her third eye is ready to poke out there, and although she's got two swords, she's hands free. She can pull away that blindfold at any time and get clarity. And I think what she's scared of is the Three of Swords. She doesn't want to get her heart broken, and I understand that. But sometimes it takes some heartbreak to bring something new into your life. It also sometimes takes the knowledge that you can manifest whatever you want. So the Magician is here to tell you that you have the power of manifestation. You don't know what that means, and you don't know how to do it, I would suggest you either look at videos on YouTube. There's a lot of great ones about manifestation, or Google it, and figure out how to manifest what you want. All right, 3 more cards for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the first half of February 2020, please. 3 more cards for the future. Do it. There they are. 2 of Cups. This is love. If somebody had to tell you who it is love. Or what it is, I should say, not who, but it could be somebody who isn't a water sign. It could be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. These 2 cups, you can see that their hands are entwined there. This is the card of love. So if you had any doubts, you can see that the Judgment is here. It's time to make a decision. Also, Judgment is about resurrection. It's about resurrecting things from the past. Mercury retrograde. Again, you've got the second one. You know, you've got your soulmate, possible soulmate coming from the past to the present. This is like Mercury retrograde. This is a card that dredges up all the things, you know, resurrects all the things that you didn't take care of. It's time for you to look those things in the face and clean them up. It's time to make big moves. It's also, Judgment is about placing judgment on someone, just saying to either the spouse or whomever, or the workplace, or whatever it is, I'm done with you. I'm done with this life. I'm done with things the way they are. Moving on. And it's okay to do that because the Sun is here, and the Sun illuminates everything for you, so you don't have any guesswork. You know, the Sun illuminates the past. It is the past, not the past. Well, it will illuminate the past as well. It'll illuminate the future, and it helps you to make decisions, because who wouldn't want to be able to see as far as they could into the future in order to make accurate decision, right? And that's what the Sun does. The Sun, especially the Sun with Judgment, you're making decisions that are impacting your lives and the lives of others. It might as well be done in the Sun, where everything blooms, everything grows. You know, the thing about the Sun, though, I always say this, there's always a double-edged sword, right? The thing about the Sun is it's illuminating your crap too. So people are going to see who you are, going to see what's in your closet. So make sure you're clean. Make sure your karma is clean. Virgo, we have the Devil. And when the Devil is here, Devil's on the bottom of the deck, by the way. And when the Devil is here, Devil is about really being chained to something you don't want to be chained to. It's about being held captive. It's about not being able to move, not being able to make your own decision. The Devil casts fear. It's not enough syndrome. The Devil will tell you you're not enough. Don't listen to fear. Fear is a liar. The Devil is a liar. So this can be about addictions. This can be about maybe an addiction you may have, whether it's an addiction to food or a substance or video games or running too much, or, you know, anything that is going to take you away from anything that you use as a getaway. I'm not talking about watching, you know, binge watching on Netflix. I'm talking about, well, even binge watching on Netflix. If you're doing it too much and you're ignoring your family, then yeah, that's a problem. So the Devil is all about addictions and things that would put life on its side. It's also about feeling chained to something that you feel chained to, that, you know, it's about feeling captive and not being able to get out of a situation. Last 3 cards of the reading, my friend. Last three. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the sign of Virgo, please. First half of February. Last three cards. Wow. I think I've done probably 4 or 5 readings where this card has shown up in the same spot in 4 readings. And it is the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is about leaving behind what you don't need anymore. The things that you've outlived, the things that you've outgrown, the things that have outgrown you. You know, the people who say, oh my gosh, you meet them in the mall. Oh my gosh, it's so long since I've seen you. Let's do coffee. And then they ghost you. Those are people you don't need. Those are low vibing people you don't need. It's time to purge your life. It's time to kick over the emotional cups. It's time for you to do the things that are for you. Walking away from things that no longer serve you, but not only walking away, but walking toward something beautiful, source, sunlight. Your heart is good. Your life is good. It's a life you want to live. Life is no longer living you. You're walking away from the things that made you live in a life that was living you. You weren't living this life. Now, when you walk away, you're going to be living this life. Because what are you walking away from? The dude we just talked about, the devil. You are walking away from being chained to something that no longer serves you. That is not good for your life. It's not good for your soul. It makes you scared. It gives you fear. It's time to walk away. You are the queen. It's time for you to speak up. If you are not a queen, then you're a king with queen energy. But you'll see the Queen of Swords here. How beautiful is she, by the way? Is she not gorgeous? Wow. Anyway, look at that head dress. Gosh. So she is, you can see that she has her sword at the ready. Her sword is up. So she is willing to cut out anything that does no longer serve her, or any people that do no longer serve her. Now she speaks up, and she is the queen. So she has a good command of her language. She's very eloquent in what she says. She's very pointed with what she says, and she means what she says. So if she's offensive to some, that is just her being honest. And the truth is not everyone loves honesty. And it is time for you to speak up and be honest with you and all of the people around you. And you know what? The ones that can't handle the truth will fall away. And the ones who really see you as Virgo, who's amazing and honest and it has integrity, those people are going to stay. And that is where you find your tribe. So my suggestion is for you to speak up, to get out of the relationship you don't want to be in, to get into the relationship you want to be in. Maybe you don't want to be in a relationship. There is love here. There is soulmate love. There is love intended to you by the universe here. So if you close this old chapter and stop fighting with whoever you were fighting with, if you decide to get out of the marriage or the relationship or the friendship or the union or whatever it is that you were in that was making you feel this, chained to it, then it's time for you to pull out the Queen of Swords and let people know how you're feeling and do the thing that you need to do for your life. You have one life, one Virgo. You need to live it. Don't let it live you. You're going to regret it at the end if you don't. That is all I have to say. Oh, the only two other things I have to say to you. First of all, is that under the deck is the Fool. You have a new start coming, so you might as well take advantage of that new start in this new 2020. All right, so there's only one thing left to do, and that is to pull a card from the Spirit Animal Oracle. I think you've seen them before, and I just got them the other day, actually. Ooh, I was watching some of my favorite readers, and I'm like, yeah, I need that deck. It's awesome. I love it. And so I really do love it. It just seems to pull the whole reading together. And I'm just going to pull one card for you here. And I am going to read from the book because these are brand new cards for me. Some of them I haven't even laid eyes on yet. So I will be reading from the book for you. And we're going to look for one card for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. There we go. It is... I can't write this stuff, you guys. I cannot. I couldn't if I tried. Cat Spirit, claim your independence. We were just talking about your independence, were we not? It's time for you to fly. Virgo, it's time for you to fly. So 3 and 1 is 4. And 4 is about stability. And claiming your independence and stability. Look at that cat. For real, look at that. Oh, that baby. I love cats. Okay, so 13. Let me take a look here. 12. It's interesting that the canary spirit comes before the cat spirit. Okay. All right, cat spirit, claim your independence. When a cat spirit meows, she is calling you to claim your independence and allow for some space between you and others in your life. Yes. The only way you can grow in your relationship now is to have a healthy sense of self-respect and self-worth. When you walk with dignity, knowing you are self-aware and willing to grow, trusting the value you bring, you are now self-aware. You have transformed and you know the value you bring. You know it. You're the star of your life. Trusting the value you bring to the world will mirror all of this back to you in kind. When you say no to codependency and enmeshment, live and let live, and practice taking risks as you wander into new territory for you. Cat spirits rejoice. She is here to urge you to let your independent spirit roam free. Just because I don't have a mic. Like, it's true, you guys. I can't write this stuff like as if, right? Cat spirit, time for your independence. That's what we talked about through this whole reading. It looks like you get your independence maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it's time for you to live you. It's time for you to live your life. All right, that's really all I have for you today. And if you do need a reading, if you need a reading, like just one question, spur of the moment, I have pulled through the sale of one question for $25. It's a 15-minute reading. If you need anything really quick, maybe you just don't know if you should ask that person out on a date for Valentine's Day, I'd be happy to read for you. You can reach me at Elsie at 10 of Cups Tarot. I'd be happy to send an email back to you and put you on the schedule. We'll find out what kind of timeline we have for you. And if you need anything else, please look down below. There is some pricing there. There is my email address there, and a little bit of other things. In the meantime, watch my stories, because that's where you'll see me be me and just not be reading. All right, gonna go, Virgo. Thank you very much for coming. If you can please subscribe, hit the bell button. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up if you like this video, it really does help me stay online. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna go.